Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to all our panelists today. Welcome to the webinar session, Policy Institute webinar session 2021. And I would like to welcome the Honorable Dr. Ahmad Ibrahim from the Film Directors Association of Malaysia, or FDAM, Mr. Muhammad Izzat bin Hassan, Mr. Zulkarnain bin Abdullah, and Mr. Gulam Shafihan bin Gulabhan from the Academy Seni Budaya dan Warisan Kebangsaan, or ASWARA. Together, we are here to get some knowledge from the panels for the preparation of good quality videos that will be competing in the Policy Institute program 2021. And for your information, this Policy Institute program is a competition type program that will challenge the talents as well as the creativity and innovative skills of polytechnic and community college students.
So the objective of this program is to upgrade the students' quality in the production of multimedia and videos, especially in the competitive global market. And not just that, it is hoped that through this program, students' idea can be leveled up as well as their potential can be showcased in all the production of their multimedia products. So, going through with the tentative of today's program, we have very interesting slots lined up for all of you today, and we hope you stay tuned till the end. Let me just brief you on these slots. Altogether, we have 5 slots, starting with the first slot on Etika Video Social, which is also on the social etiquettes of video. The second slot would be on Pemilihan Kandungan Video, which is also about the content selection of the videos. Following that, in slot 3, teknik menghasilkan video berkualiti, or rather, the quality video production, the techniques in producing high quality video production. And slot 4 would be on di fasa-fasa dalam penerbitan video, or rather the phases involved in video production. And finally, taklimat pertandingan oleh AJK Pertandingan, or rather the briefing of the competition by the AJK. So back to you, Shazrina.
Okay. Okay, before we begin, I will introduce a little bit about our first panel, Dr. Ahmad Ibrahim from FDAM. He has received recognition and awards as the Best Director for the documentary film Street Musician screened on the BBC. He has also worked as a lecturer, a creative master at the Faculty of Film, Theatre and Animation, University of Technology Mara, and has 40 years of experience in the fields of advertising, film, and TV.
Okay, now introduce Dr. Zulkarnain bin Abdullah. He's a lecturer, Faculty of Creative Writing and Film Aswara. So, some more of his career highlights, he directed the production and video coverage on the construction of the Petronas Twin Towers, aired over National Geographic and Discovery Channel's mega structures, skyscrapers, tall building, and other related programs. Other than that, he directed the Petronas Twin Tower, a Vision Realized documentary on permanent airing at Skybridge Tour entrance, concourse level Petronas Twin Towers. He also directed Peninsula Gas Utilization Project Phase 2 documentary aired over RTM's TV1 on the 14th December 1991. And lastly, he directed the video production coverage on the construction of several Malaysian landmarks, mega projects such as KLIA, Masjid Wilayah Persekutuan, Pergau Dam, Petronas refineries and processing plants F1, and MotoGP Astro, etc.
Thank you for the introduction. And I thank you for mentioning me as a doctor. I haven't finished my doctorate yet, but thanks for the
Okay, following that, we have one interesting panel next by the name of Muhammad Izzat bin Hassan. And he graduated from University Technology Mara, UITM, with a bachelor from 2003 and 2005. And not just that, what is the most interesting about Mr. Izzat is that he is now the Deputy Dean or also the lecturer at Akademi Seni Budaya and Warisan Kebangsaan Aswara. So this is huge. Performing a duty as Deputy Dean presently, he is also the manager of Broadcasting Center in Aswara, especially in the cinematography program leader, film and television lecturer, teaching and giving lectures on film and TV directing, including single camera production, on videos and cinematography, and multi-camera production, which involves the producing, directing, and technical setup. So he has exceeding experience in directing workshop, film production management, and he's also the thesis advisor and supervisor. So Mr. Izzat has produced and filmed many Aswara official video and short films, including events involving multi-camera production. And I believe with this vast experience of Mr. Izzat, all of you will definitely benefit from his slot today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome our honorary head of panel, Mr. Gulam Shafihan bin Gulabhan, currently serving as head of directing program, Faculty of Film at Aswara, once awarded Best Short Film at AFDA Award, Dubai for short film Turbulence, and Best Music Video at Mumbai Student Award for My Name is Luka. He was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Film Gemerlapan at the 1997 Malaysia Film Festival. Welcome, Mr. Gulam Shafihan.
Thank you, Puan Shastrina, for the brief introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for having me. So I'm looking forward for the webinar, and I hope everything will go very smooth today. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
All right, thank you. So moving on to our slot. All right, so let's begin, yeah? Okay, so with our first slot today on the social etiquettes of video production, this is going to be an extremely interesting slot, especially for all of you to know on the important element of communicating effectively. So how are you going to use your videos to communicate effectively? And good social etiquettes help you to put others before yourself. And this is extremely a good sign of respect and courtesy. So without further ado, let us hear from all the panels what they think and what they would advise all of you with regards to social etiquettes of video. So to all the panels.
First of all, I would like to welcome all the potential future filmmakers who is going to participate in this competition. I'm intrigued and I'm happy with the theme of this Policy Tube because the theme is such a vast and interesting theme that our future filmmaker can explore. The theme is tell them about us. So I always believe in filmmaking, you have to come up with a story that is close to you or to yourself. Okay, so etika membuat video ataupun filem. First of all, I always tell my students, especially or future filmmakers, you always have to come up with something that is positive. Your film must have something that that have positive energy, and I think tell them about us is a very relevant theme for new filmmakers. I think there's a lot you can explore. So I think there is a few options for the filmmakers. You can come up with short films. You can come up with documentaries. You can even submit a talk show or a PSA. So I think there is a lot that our contestant can explore, and there will be many stories that they can tell for this competition. Okay, that's from my side lah. For our first slot, introduction of Etika video. So I would like to hear the other panels. What do you think of the theme? Don't you think this theme is quite universal and there is a lot you can explore? Tell them about us.
Yes, for me, Mr. Gulam and others, moderators and panels. Okay, I just want to share. While my era, my era, past is past, but this is my experience. Okay, when you do videos, students, especially students, you can do anything that you want. Okay, but as a Asian, mostly Muslim. Okay, Muslim. You have to take care few things that bring something in your video, especially the topics of ethic in this discussion. Ethics is really important. Okay, when I was as a freelance, there's a one director say we have to be responsible in whatever we do on our video. That's why we have to try to we have to show everything good in that video, everything good. But while you a student, you can do whatever whatever video that shown not good ethic or good ethic in a good way, not just saying that you're trying to be a rebel person, but creating a rebel video without an ethic still not responsible. It's not good responsible you on your video. But as a filmmakers, while you doing the videos, you're already a filmmakers. You're already a filmmakers. Even as film students, already a filmmakers. So as a students, whoever whoever person doing a video, please make sure there's a good ethic in the video. Sometimes the concept of nilai-nilai murni, a good behavior in that videos. So every time you do your videos, make sure you're responsible in what you are doing. Nowadays is a social media era. When you publish on the public, then you have to answer every question that people say, oh, that video is not good, that video is good. You have to take responsibility on your videos.
Okay, so one of the question when something like this, what are the limits? How far can we push the content of our video itself? Because nowadays we can see a lot of some videos, they are perhaps pushing the limits, the barrier itself beyond what are the norms before this. Because before this we have all of these censorship and everything, but as of nowadays with social media and everything, people tend to go beyond the censorship and everything.
Well, it's true, Encik Khalid, Muhammad Khalid. We are dealing with young people. Young people normally they have this raging hormone. They feel that they have something to say politically or morally. They are rebellious. I think that is normal. Macam Cik Izzat cakap tadi lah, era dia. I think what Cik Izzat nasihat tadi is applicable for every era. Dari zaman dulu sampai sekarang. Bukan era Cik Izzat sahaja. 90-an ya Cik Izzat era you. Saya pun okay. So I think what Cik Izzat say is so true. What you do, you have to hold responsible for the content or your short film, because now it's just a touch. People can be a commentator or can be a judge. So it's very tricky nowadays. The ethics is something that that's why we put it in the first slot, because that is the fundamental that is very important. So we would like to hear pendapat daripada apa ni generasi sebelum kita lah, Dr. Cik Isul ke. What do you think, our two panels?
Okay, may I chip in?
Yes.
I'm just few months older than you, so I'm not very far away.
I wish you won't tell because
Okay. Anyway, I think the government has been telling us to avoid this term called VHS last time, violence, horror, and sex. So that is one of the fundamental things that the students must bear in mind when they do their production. And while doing the production, we need the students to understand that being a student, you are allowed to use a lot of footages. Even you can use Michael Jackson's song, John Lennon, the Beatles, whatever. Okay, but once it goes outside the perimeter of your school, then all the regulation will start jumping in. So you must bear that in mind. Okay, when you do it within your perimeter, it's fine, no problem. You can use anybody's footage or whatever. You just put the credit there, as though you have done your work to get their permission to use. But if this, for instance, this particular polycystic thing will go out, so you must bear in mind that it must be copyrighted and you must have permission from the owners. Cuma yang penting tu you must jaga that you know the punya copyright rule, and then don't ever plagiarize other people's work. And one thing during my time, okay, I've learned along the way that when you want to get something from people, just be humble but firm. Okay, don't be too cocky or sarcastic when you want to get some information, get some help from people. Be humble. Then people will layan you. Otherwise, if you datang macam gangster, orang pun akan, siapa ni? Kan? So itu some of my thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, Cik Dizul, I have a question because you are an expertise in documentary.
Yes.
So we talk about ethics kan. Kalau someone do a documentary and they do a bit of staging, you know now they inject drama in documentary kan.
Yes.
As a documentary filmmaker, do you think it's okay to do staging? That means you lakonan semula.
Actually, by right, staging is not allowed in documentary.
Okay.
In fact, National Geographic don't allow any kind of reenactment in products. And there was, I think before 2000, it was not allowed. But after that, once Astro got into National Geographic Discovery Channel into their place, it was allowed, but it must meant for something that cannot be done earlier. Meaning that if you are doing a documentary on Firaun and all that, there's no camera at that time. Fine, you can do that. But if you are doing about Sudirman, you must get an actual shot of Sudirman doing whatever. You cannot reenact. That was the rule then. Discovery history, okay lagi. National Geographic was very strict. But now I tengok pun National Geographic pun dah mula memberi kebenaran. Satu, dia cuma bagi you do animated atau visual effects. Not getting someone to lakonkan as P. Ramlee ke siapa, no. They don't allow.
So what you see in the History Channel where they talk about Napoleon Bonaparte and then they get an actor to reenact some of the scenes. So that is not allowed. So okay.
But nowadays I tengok dah dibolehkan sebab memang dulu tak ada kamera. So kalau tidak kan benda tu tak sampai, because kadang-kadang macam kita buat storyboard, bila kita tunjuk dekat klien storyboard, dia tak boleh nak visualize benda tu. So now they create this thematic storyboard so that the client boleh faham juga benda tu. So I think they're starting to allow. Now the grey fiction dengan non-fiction tu, the grey area, the grey line tu I mean the line tu dah mula start greenish.
I think drama, they inject drama in everything kan.
Yeah, if they have to.
Even reality program pun.
Yes,
Thanks.
documentary is about evidence lah.
Yeah.
Evidence. So that's why you have to show whatever you have yang related dengan isu dan topik yang dibawa. So that's why students, especially when you're doing documentaries, make sure all the footage, you credit all the footage at the to the owner and give codes to them.
Even still photograph kan Cik Izzat kan?
Yes.
And
Still
anything.
photograph. Anything you take from others, you have to ask permission first, actually. Ask permission. And then give a code. If you cannot contact all the owners, then give a code. But after that, when they see you guys using the footage they own, so be careful. Everything, you don't like people take from you without your permission. So that's the thing. I would like to add something about as Mr. Muhammad Khalid said about how the limit that we show we can go through. Okay, but in Malaysia actually you can't show police is bad. You can't. Okay, but you show a bad cop, a bad police with the solution about that bad thing that the cop, the police do, it's okay. But if you bring the script showing that government departments have a bad attitude, the police department have a bad attitude, court, the law enforcement also doing a bad thing. Actually, we can't do that. But when you come with the solution, and then maybe they will be considered. I have my friends that working as a policeman, as a police officer at URTV. It's called URTV. URTV is stand for Unit Radio and TV for PDRM. So all the script, even the film or any film, documentary, or even any videos that include police or anything, they have to send it to PDRM first. Our friend will read the script and then they will ask the production team, especially the directors and producers, why they are doing this, why they are doing this. If it's not tak menepati, okay, tak menepati with the PDRM image, you have to change it.
May I say something? I mean, actually, the definition of filmmaking is a free expression, one thing, right? But there must be a value, humanity value. There is the border, it's a gray line there. Okay. Regarding our discussion today, we are talking about the themes. The theme is tell them about us. So we got to, tell them we got to define the theme to our participants. What do you mean by tell them about us? Okay, there are two important elements here. Either they talk about culture or they talk about historical. Tell them about us. If you tell to the world the uniqueness, the exceptional of Malaysian culture, Malaysian history, and so forth. Right. Apa ni, pertaining to kita punya pakaian, pemakanan, adat resam, background, language, all those things. So tell them about us. Tell them about it. That means you got to tell them about us, the unique and the exceptional, uncomparable with Singapore, with Philippines, with Thailand. We want something is the pride of the nation. This is what we are looking for. We want something that unthinkable, out of the box. They got to put it something that's out of the box, unthinkable. For example, maybe a small isolated things that we can expand and exaggerate it. That is what we're looking for. We're looking for a talented young filmmakers.
It's more to a YouTube video actually. Less on short film, but more to a YouTube video.
Untold story, unthinkable, something unique, and something unique that you can highlight it. Furthermore, we call it a free expression. The rest you can tell anything about Malaysia. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, now I'm going to pretend as one of a contestant, Doctor. So I'm going to ask you a question regarding my content. So, okay, Doctor, saya berumur 18 tahun, saya nak buat video tentang menyambung ayam. So, adakah itu beretika sebab menyambung ayam tu berjudi, Doktor? So, macam mana tu?
Short film,
cock fighting.
ayam
Itu cock fighting. So, itu pun itu tell them about us juga kan? I'm going to pretend as one of the student lah yang tanya. Okay, Doktor. So, macam mana kita nak letakkan etika dan juga kebudayaan? Silakan,
okay.
Doktor.
You must bear in mind. Tabung ayam is bukan kita punya culture. Tabung ayam juga adalah orang kata adaptation culture daripada Filipina, daripada Thailand, daripada Indonesia. So di mana kita punya uniqueness? Kita nakkan unique culture.
Okay.
Tabung ayam is, I could say worldwide. It's not a culture, it's worldwide. It's been practiced worldwide. Di Afrika pun ada. Di Brazil pun ada tabung ayam. So di mana uniqueness of Malaysia?
Okay.
Kita buat tabung ayam.
Okay.
Right. Now we confine to a Malaysian punya traditional, Malaysian punya the face of Malaysian. We want the pride of.
Alright. So maknanya wayang kulit pun bukan an option lah sebab
yes.
Dah ada shadow dancing. Di Myanmar pun dah ada shadow dancing kan?
Yes. Yes.
So kita kena betul-betul congkil identiti kita kan, Doktor kan?
Yes.
But the problem is, let's say for example, for the 18 years old kids, boys, girls, whatsoever, perhaps but to them tarian sotong is their punya culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sebab dia tak nampak something yang benda-benda macam tu pada dia, oh, those things is so traditional. People are moving on. So dia nak lebih, so how? Say for example, if they were to choose a topic that is current to their own knowledge level, background knowledge, all those things.
But kita dah kata the freedom of expression kan? Okay. That is uniqueness. Okay. You talk about wow, you talk about layang. What the difference between layang the other country and layang in Kelantan and Terengganu? You can see the design, the shape, right? That is different.
I think what Encik Muhammad Khalid was saying earlier, I agree. This Policinstitute ni kita tak nak menakut-nakutkan orang sebab tak nak heavy sangat. It's just a YouTube content kan. We are not talking about a tree. We are talking about a branch or twig kan. It's just an extension of what you want to tell them about you. So if you make a feature film that is a whole tree, okay, pokok tu besar. So now we are targeting just a dahan je, kan? Muhammad Khalid betul?
Yeah,
it's just a branch. So that branch, that small branch or a twig, dia bukan untuk nak buat elastik je, elastik tu. So it can be an interesting story. It can be a one scene story, or it can be a universal theme. I think love is applicable to all culture. I think it's ingrained in all of us. So I think we are encouraging aspiring filmmakers to come up with theme that is close to you, that reflects our culture and our country, and also to reflect who you are.
Yes, right. You are right, Gulam.
Yeah, Doctor.
That's very nice perspective. You know, but there seems to be a very thin line between creativity and what is seemed to be culturally appropriate. So what do you think are the core values that students can fall back upon in the production of their videos. So with these core values, perhaps, that can be a guideline or a direction setting for these students to produce better videos and perhaps with stronger impact, like what Dr. Ahmad said just now, what is unique? What is the pride of our nation? So what do you think would be the core values?
Okay, the mixture of our culture, the mixture of our races, that is the core value. Okay, how we can stay in harmonies, how we associate ourselves, right? Like how we stand together like brothers, like a family. That's another core. Ideas that we should explore, right? Where there is no other countries such as Malaysia, right?
That's nice.
I think to answer Miss Lee, the guideline or where we draw the line is, I think first of all, as filmmakers, we have to ask ourselves, especially those who are interested in entering this contest, will you show this? Will you show your film or your masterpiece to your family? If you can be proud and show it to your whole family, then I think it's pretty safe, the content that you will enter for this contest. So if you only show it or you are proud to show it to a certain audience or targeted audience, then I think I sense some danger there. So I think it should be family friendly. It should be
Okay.
it should be for everybody. Kan?
What we wanted to know is that your story. You can tell any story. There must be a good story, a very unique story. So in this case, you got to discuss with your group, your friends. Tell them this is my story. Okay, is my story interesting or not? If they say yes, that means your story is eligible and very interesting. In fact, I should say that a story is not a one man show, right? Story making is not one man show, right? You must bear in mind, right? So you have to have a lot of you got to have a pool of friends, we can discuss the thing and whether we can analysis whatever story that you have with friends and whatnot, and then once you have the collective idea, your collective answers and collective yes, that is the story. That is a good story. Filmmaking is a storytelling, right? Tell something that people won't expect and unexpected. People will expect this is the story, an unexpected story. This is what we're looking for. We are looking for talent. Okay, we want to build talent here, right? In terms of industry creative, that is our purpose.
Okay, I got something to share with students about what I understand from this competition that we going to do. All right. Nowadays, the word of creative video. Actually, what is Polytechnic is doing now is a creative video actually, because it merangkumi macam-macam. Okay, what I can read from the organizer, there's a vlog, interviews, testimonial, demonstration, documentary, story, even question and answer. Question and answer is about like maybe some kind of talk show or everything. The problem what we going to is not a problem actually. We as a panel will go through a lot of video, but okay, for example, for one video that using the concept of short film, and another video is a creative video, include documentary style, interview, everything, and it's really creative. So how we gonna judge these two video because of the two different content, but the method that they are using are totally different? How we going to judge that? That's why, please bear in mind, but it's my opinion, okay? This is a creative video contest. A creative video contest. How creative they can present. And we get back to the theme that Polly has said, that tell them about us. But in this competition, let them do whatever they want. But if too bad to watch, okay, it's a 3-minute video. 1 minute already drag you, already bring you a bosan thing, and then you nak tunggu lagi 2 minit.
So
Kan?
what we're looking for is that is a story.
Yes,
Tell
story.
us the story about us. Tell a story. What we want is a story, a creative story. And then of course, when we talk about a story, is they got to create and the narrative, the sound, the camera work, the lighting, right?
What you say is so true. Creativity is so subjective. So how can you judge creativity? That's why our organizer, one of the judging criteria ialah dia mesti ada wow factor. Kan? Dia mesti ada wow factor. You can tell, 3 people can make a film about katakan Dondang Sayang, katakan culture. But one of it must have the wow factor. I mean, what you're looking for is the wow factor. But how can you define wow factor? So it's up to us lah, the judges kan. So because it's very hard to measure creativity kan, is that kan? Macam you cakap. So it's a very
Okay, Dr. Mr. Gulam, apart from that, wow factor, creativity and everything, but the thing that of the main focus is, can it, let's say for example, neglect all of the ethics in building the video content itself?
Oh, you can't neglect the ethics. You must create within the limitation that the organizer has given. We live in a country where you can't have nudity in your video. So that's why we put this slot, Etika Video, the first, which is very important. You must know all the guideline before you berkarya.
I like your measuring stick, which is very cheap and very useful. If
very
you
cheap, what do you mean?
Because
very cheap,
you just really need family members. If you want to know whether your video is acceptable by others and everything, first thing first, show your family members.
Oh, that is the first stage. That is the first stage. So that is the first guideline. Now, if we bombard them with all this apa ni censorship, memang tak dapat lah penyertaan kan.
As long as they don't against the racist and agama, that's fine. For example lah, Hari Raya Korban, persiapan makanan kita yang unik, makanan yang tak ada tempat lain, ketupat, rendang and whatnot yang tak ada tempat lain, yang tak ada tempat lain lah. So that is another story, a story. Tell us about the story.
Yeah, may I ask then, it seems that, a powerful story has to be communicated. And would you agree if I say that, a story which will be deemed as powerful would solve issues or problems in the society, or would stretch certain perspective? Would you agree? And in terms of YouTube platform, is there any special etiquettes which are different from other platforms?
Whatever medium you use, the first thing is you must produce something which is truly sincere from your heart. And then you are talking about such big message. We are not finding a solution for cancer, or we are not launching a rocket to the moon. So this is a YouTube content that encourage people to convey their creativity. Hopefully, if it's a bonus, we get a good message from them. If not, a product from these filmmakers might keep us thinking, oh, betul juga, oh, it's so true. Or it will cuit hati kita bila kita tengok video yang diorang hantar tu. That's the wow factor. Because if you can do a film about love, but you can even say the person plagiarized a love story from a different film. but how to tell the story and how you inject the soul in your film or your product. I think that's the wow factor lah yang macam saya cakap.
Actually, it's a very powerful tool in a way, because if your parents or your family members, your friends, your colleague does not approve it, that means there's something wrong with the video itself.
Yeah.
That is not approved by the community.
Actually, I cakap from Chef Wan, if you want to cook something for people, you must like the food first. You open a restaurant, you want to serve people, you kena masak something that you enjoy eating. Betul tak Muhammad Khalid?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's the same concept in filmmaking juga, kan? Doktor ada sesuatu nak cakap.
Gentlemen, what I'm looking is, what we're looking is the pride of our nation. That's all.
Yeah.
A pride of our nation. Something uniqueness, a pride relation. You can talk anything, you can tell anything, but it must be very compelling stories. A pride of nation. What is the pride of our nation? Doesn't matter lah. Pride of nation. Maybe the mixture of our races and whatnot is a pride of the nation.
Yep.
Story waiting rich. Story yang dia tahu. Story yang knowledgeable. Tak mau story yang dia tak tahu. Yang dia knowledgeable story. Knowledgeable yang dia tahu, dia faham pengalaman dia, pengetahuan dia, and then apa yang dia observe surrounding, that is the story. Okay, yang unik.
For
Story
this
dekat rumah
era, for this era of pandemic, maybe in this time because of the PKPD and PKP things, okay, maybe the contestant will be get trouble to make a very creative video. But sometimes when you have a lot of limitation, you're doing a video with a limitation, the creative will datang. Dia akan datang. Limitation itu kadang-kadang akan menyebabkan the creative things akan keluar
Yes.
sendirinya.
Yes.
So for organizer, you have to bear in mind that we will get a lot of video that maybe they shoot only inside the house.
Yeah.
Inside the house. But how creative they are going to show, itu yang kita akan tengok lah.
With all this limitation, kadang-kadang limitation is a blessing in disguise. Kadang with limitation, you use more of your creative juice. Betul kan, Encik Muhammad Khalid?
Before that, panels, I have a question from one of the lecturers. She asked, what about parody? Youngsters nowadays are too much into making parodies. So is it okay if the students choose a good piece of work and remake or reproduce the work from a specific angle?
No, I say
Comedy
yes.
and things
Parody.
By all
Parody
means.
is a yes.
Yes.
Parody is a yes.
Yes.
Parody is a yes.
That's
It's a
part of
very
filmmaking.
creative subject when talking about parody.
I think it's not easy to take something serious and inject humor in it. If you see most of the TikTok video nowadays, mostly is parody. Okay? So yes, they are most welcome. You can always submit a parody.
Yes. Okay. Actually, when you do documentary and they want to discover things, there's no black and white solution. I mean, saya kata 1 campur 1 campur 1 plus 1 is 2. But in documentary, it could be like this, it could be like this, it could be like this. But all three itu must be in tandem with what is supposed to be the
topic.
Hasil lah, the topic hasil of it. Of course, some people try to look creative by inventing things yang out of the norm, but it end up jadi benda yang oh my god, kan? So itu dia kena be careful juga lah in when they produce the thing.
Okay, lastly dia mesti ada value. Message must be a value. Value is very important. Okay, you talk about national pride, you talk about nationalism, there must be a value. Kita letakkan value itu. Okay, the humanity value, the universal value.
Okay, just to add about the cheap method tadi tu. No, actually dalam filmmaking or even advertising, we have this we call this focus group. Okay, once we finish a product, okay, a production, kita akan tunjuk to a group of people. Sometimes we asingkan orang ikut dia punya background lah. Some ikut umur, some ikut dia punya pekerjaan, dia punya ideology. So we want to
Demography.
see the demography, and we want to see dia punya reception to the.
Yeah,
We pay
you're right.
20-30 people, view our iklan and give you
Yeah.
your comments before we tunjuk dekat TV. And some big production movies pun they call it macam pre-sales punya level lagi before dia pergi to the main sale punya.
Betul.
They
They
akan
collect sample.
yes.
We
So
collect
that cheap
sample.
rental is actually it's not cheap. It's but itu memang one of the things that you have to do. Because when we produce, we think, wah, bestnya cerita aku. Actually, orang tengok muntah. We want to avoid that. Especially
So that's why bila dapat idea, dia kena share dengan family,
yes,
dengan kawan.
exactly.
Okay. Kalau dah kawan-kawan semua accept, dia kata your story is very fantastic, amazing. Okay, that is a good story lah. Audience must accept our storytelling. We got to know how to tell the audience our story. That orang kata storytelling. Storytelling must be good.
Yes.
Nak capture katakan audience. Okay. Nak capture audience makna must be compelling, must be kata orang apa ni, kita must invite student, invite audience. Inviting itu kita nak. The appealing kita nak. So appealing, inviting, captivating, ini three element yang mesti kita ada dalam storytelling.
I remember just last one. I remember we did a interview with Sweet Charity, the band from Singapore. Okay, and Ramli Sarip said, if people go to your concert, buy your albums, then your song is good. Okay, if people curi, download the thing, or kalau you launch the record 10 orang aja beli, then it's not good. So kadang-kadang kita buat lagu ataupun kita buat video, kita rasa wow, saya sendiri pun, in fact my wedding video I re-edit 3 kali. Itu kita kena bear in mind lah. That even we want to see the wow factor, but is it the wowness tu, how wow is the wow, that one kita akan tengok once dia dah bagi kat kita, then then kita boleh decide.
You must bear in mind, student kita dah expose dengan berbagai-bagai filem. Berbagai-bagai orang tengok. Okay, this is a trend. Kita mesti ikut trend. Okay, apa yang dikenaki, apa yang tak nak dikenaki oleh audience. Kita dah tahu dah. Okay, audience suka apa, audience tak suka apa. This is a trend.
We back to our topic in this. The first topic is ethics. So what we can conclude, discussion is about ethics. So what I have assumed that I personally can conclude that we should have an ethic that shown our culture. You must be responsible with your product, your short film, your content. Sorry, okay. And then there's a lot of things that we discuss about. It's about ethic that as a content creator, okay. This student actually is not filmmakers, okay. They are content creators. So content creators will be producing a good creative video. So what we discuss, we need to put all the elements. A good ethic. Good ethic is you must be responsible with your products.
Value.
Put culture content in that. So creative also is a good ethic actually. But for me, a very important, like what I do now, really pegang sekarang is make sure you're responsible with whatever you do.
Yes.
Don't afraid when you do. It's not about you do and then you think after that. You have to think first before you do. The information, because nowadays is social media era. Everyone will be a keyboard warriors. They will tell you not to do this, do this.
Yes.
That's a very good message. Okay, so to wrap up the first session, thank you so much to all the panels. We see that, while the students are encouraged to exercise their creativity, but they must be grounded by the values and cultures of the society. And that is why we call it social ethics in video making. So what is appropriate in the society, what is acceptable in the society, and in particular the Malaysian society, is what should be the important key takeaway from this slot. And of course, with the core values like what presented by all the panelists on love, unity, sincerity, and then pride, all these should form the basis of students' boundless creativity. Okay, and with that, we can wrap up that whatever students do,
Can I add
they,
something? Besides love, unity, they must have fun while they are making this video.
yes.
Yes. So when you have fun, it shows in your product. Okay. Thank you.
That's
That's
a
all.
very important one. Yes, definitely. So the content creators, the YouTube creators must enjoy what they produce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So embrace the pressure, because according to the panelists, with pressure comes creativity, and limitation, with these ethics and things that have to be socially and culturally appropriate can sometimes be a huge blessing in disguise. Okay, so moving on, I think we have the next slot, isn't it? All right. So yes, to students watching this video and slots, remember, okay, your story has to be powerful. It has to stir your heart, and at the same time, perhaps blow your mind. And hopefully, family, friends who watched it, okay, the
Approve it.
chief audience can prove it as well.
Level
Show to
with
the family first before you send
Yes.
it
To
to
upload it.
our organizer,
it's a
and
clever
before you
move.
publish into your social media, ask your family first. If
Yeah.
your father said, what are you
Yes.
going to say when people will say like this, like
Yes,
this,
I
like this?
Lastly,
agree.
And
Students
lastly
and
but not
should be
least,
very careful because of the hyper transparency feature or nature or character of internet nowadays, having many public sharing platform, and especially
Good
on
word,
YouTube,
hyper
anyone
transparency.
in the world can see it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So
and
yes.
can I add in
Yeah,
that
sure.
what I understood is, although we are highlighting the negative aspect of something, we still have to make sure that we slip in the morality value that we can gain from the issue. So and another thing, of course, because we're talking about etiquette, whatever that we have taken from other people's work, we have to make sure that credit is given.
Mhm.
Okay.
And you also should follow YouTube rules and regulation
Yes.
also,
Yes.
since you are using their platform also.
Okay.
lastly but not least, your film must look inspirational, right? The inspirational look must be there, right? That's all.
Okay, very well said, all our moderators. I think this is the end of our first slot, kan?
Yeah.
Besides all the do and don'ts by the organizer, all the syarat-syarat yang kita ada, so you must also ask yourself what is appropriate and what is not. And do it sincerely and have fun. So thank you very much. This is the conclusion of this
Okay.
video.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.